Hi, do you like money? Well, so does this guy. We're gonna name him Jeff. Hey Jeff, how's your day going? My day's going good. That's good. Look at this money though. Pretty cool, huh? Yeah, that is pretty cool. Well, let's go through the entire history of money, I guess. It starts off in a place like this, a cave. Oh, look, it's Jeff's great ancestor, Cave Jeff. Cave Jeff used a system called the barter system. To explain the bartering system, let's go back to high school. Let's say you had a great Halloween, but you got all these almond joys. Well, now you're trying to get rid of them because they're obviously the worst candy, and somebody says that they'll give you a Snickers for them. Let's say you make that trade and you exchange the almond joy for the Snickers. Well, this would be an example of a bartering system. There were countless other things traded with the barter system, including women, food, slaves, and anything else that one party needed that the other didn't have. Welcome to Mesopotamia, the birthplace of civilization. Here we find Jeff again, and look, he has some money. This money is called a shekel. This shekel was made out of silver, usually, and was weighed against barley, the main form of food at the time. We find that it was equal to 160 grams of barley. The shekel was the foundation of modern day contracts, rental properties, and even modern day banking. This allowed for civilization to progress even farther than it had before. The Mesopotamians had several laws regarding ownership of property, sales, purchases, and even rental contracts like I mentioned previously. There was laws protecting businesses, loans and mortgages, and even inheritance. This laid the foundation for the next era of money, the Romans. The Romans had taken over much of their known world at the time. They used taxes to conquer other areas of the world that they knew, as well as subsidize their military and provide buildings for the people to enjoy. They created elaborate aqueducts to receive fresh water, made roads for people to travel and trade, and gave the ruling class plenty of money to use to their leisure. Although these taxes were used for public work products, most people who collected the taxes were hated upon. They were seen as conniving and distrustful. Essentially, they were the Romans' version of a used car salesman. After this time, not much really changed with currency, but a lot did change with political thought. The Romans had a basic give and take system. Each price had its value, and each thing could be bought with the value of that coin. However, a long ways down the line, with the political system getting more complex, there would be two thoughts of money occurring that would change our landscape. These two thoughts would be capitalism and communism. And oh look, here's Jeff. He's just chilling at the Russian Revolution. The Russian Revolution was started by this man, Karl Marx. He wrote the Communist Manifesto, which provided an impetus at which that revolution started. This idea was a different thinking of money at the time. Instead of privatized owners owning businesses, it was the state who owned the businesses. This allowed for the community as a whole to be in direct control of all of the company, or what's now known as the mode of production. This was in stark contrast to the traditional capitalist way of thinking. Each business was privately owned by a certain individual, and that individual ran that company for profit. Although this video is not about politics, it is about money, and politics are closely related with the view of money. This view is also important when talking about how money is seen. This view equates with money types. We went from seashells to metal coins to paper bills and whatever else is next. Something I'd want to touch on a little bit more, which is an important part of our history with money, is the gold standard. This was first done in Europe, and it was making banknotes equal to a certain amount of gold. The United States later followed in 1900 with their own Gold Standard Act. It was later removed roughly around 33 years later because of the Great Depression. The Great Depression was a stock market crash in 1929 that I said previously led to the downfall of the gold standard. Although it couldn't take over something of a physical nature, cryptocurrency seems to be the next step in money. Whether you agree with it or not, it is part of our life today. Even with the scandals or whatnot going on, it could lead to the future of money as we know it. Well, there's the entire history of money, I guess. I hope Jeff helped you learn how money started, where it came from, and just its general history throughout our history as a human species. Thank you for watching.